We're going to do chapter 19, which is the threads and fasteners. Now, we've done a little bit of threads and fasteners, but we're going to jump into it in much more detail. So tomorrow, you're going to get a drawing on GDT, and then also, I'm going to put some questions to review for chapter 19, so that we can be getting that moving forward. By the way, on 19, that's kind of nice. I do have a video for you to watch. You'll have to go to the library to watch it, because it's old format. And we don't have the technology to display it here. So you'll get that. You'll enjoy the little video. It's a little 20, 30-minute video, and basically it's all about threads. You'll learn a lot from it. Now, on these worksheets, again, you can sketch them, but folks, don't think sketch means they're sloppy. Okay. All you're doing is adding the GDT symbol to these. So don't make them harder than they are. Like the first one right here. Add a feature control symbol, that means GDT, with specifications to keep the top of this object parallel to the bottom, to datum A, which is the bottom, to within 0.003. They give you an example of what this looks like over here on the right. All you're doing is mimicking that. So these first two sheets are all about learning how to make this control box where things go. And so you're going to have 4 little repetitious exercises to help you with that. Now remember, your text is an 1/8 inch when you do these. Okay? So you want to make sure your box, when you put it in, it's by hand. You're going to do this with a pencil. Make sure your box is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch minimum, so that your text is not crowded by the border, right, of that GDT box. So you're doing this one. Next one, you're doing concentric circles, okay, which is real common, where we have a couple positive cylinders. Okay. Again, you can look at the example on that. Now on the example on this one, they pull off an extension line over on the right for concentricity. That you can use a meter, but we want to check that those two are concentric. Okay. So that's the first sheet. Any questions on that?
Yes. What are we doing with this?
Okay,
Are we
so-
showing the parallel? Are we supposed to show?
So what I'm going to do on the top one, what I'm doing is I'm adding a feature control symbol with specifications that the top of this object is to be parallel with datum A to within 0.3 thousandths.
Right, so you're doing your
Okay.
box.
So what we first have to do is identify where the top surface is and where we see the top surface. You only give one GDT, but we see the top surface in both views. Okay. So you can go off of either view, and in essence, what I can do here is I do have an extension line that is on the top surface. Remember, this thing is tying to the top surface, so I can do this 2 ways. One, I could come in here and put my GDT box right here, where this one, what are we doing? We're doing parallel? Parallel to 0.003 to datum A. Okay, that would be fine. Let me kind of zoom in on this so you can see my stuff. Now that doesn't give you a lot of room. The other thing you can do is a leader line, and your GDT box should be centered on that. Okay, so let me do parallel, 0.003, and then to datum A. Either of those would work just fine. And I can also do it on the right side view, wherever you see that top. You only give it once. It's not like a finish mark where you give it every time you see the edge view. So
But
it's
if
like
you
a
do
dimension.
Right side view, you have to put your datum, because your datum's not on that.
No, datum is the bottom.
Even though it's not typically.
The datum's
Just
the
above.
bottom. Whether I call the
Just
datum
above.
out in this view or that view, the bottom is always datum A in any view it appears in.
Okay.
Okay?
You don't have to put the Because your inches marker will be in your notes somewhere, so you don't have to put that in your box.
Right, we leave
Okay.
inch measurements off until we get above 72. Do you do that for the first two on, these two on this page? If you turn the page, in essence, you're going to have the same two. This one's doing perpendicularity. And on the bottom, we're doing a runout. Now the runout is going to occur on this piece right here. That's where we're filleting these in. Okay. Now the last one's a little bit different. Okay, what I'd like you to do on this one is follow all the directions. Okay, so this one you're going to actually dimension. Now, they've already put some dimensions on here and they don't follow our standards, just kind of ignore them and run with them. But the only one I think that's kind of maybe sketchy is this one. So if you would read the first note there, look down the drawing, I'll give you a minute to kind of decipher it, and let's see if we can come out how we're going to handle that.
Plus or minus.
Okay, so we're dealing with the top, the height, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we see the height on this with our two views?
Top one.
Bottom one.
The bottom one.
So we have a front and a top view. Okay, so we see the height right here. Now we want a unilateral dimension on here. What does unilateral mean?
Similar.
Uni, what?
One.
Okay. It allows deviation in one direction. Okay. So how would you go about placing this? Gabe, what would you do on it?
On Ireland, or is that the one? Oh, wait.
Yeah, because it's point oh.
So is that the one where you do the,
Point
you
oh.
do like plus twice
Oh,
and everything? It's like you do 0.5 minus 0 and then minus 0.008.
Okay, you nailed it. That's how you're gonna handle this. This is gonna play, and what has it got, 3 decimal places?
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.5. And what you're gonna do then is say minus 0.000 minus 0.008. Okay, that would do it. You can also do 0.492 plus 0.008 plus 0. Okay. Bottom line is we're going to give one of the limits and allow deviation in one direction. Now I think the rest of it's fairly straightforward. On this one you're making datums and then following that through for all of those instructions. Again, don't take the time to put this on a board and tape it down, but try and stay as neat as possible. Obviously, if I can't read them, I'm not even going to try. Does anybody envision that their drawings are going to be starting to tie down today? Get them kind of knocked out? You are? Okay. Maybe. Report writing, that's getting started, and some of the other things that go outside of it.
Start.
Yeah. Again, I'd remind you, start writing the report way before it's due. Don't do it at the last minute or it won't be very good. I can just tell you from experience.
I outlined it, that's
Yeah, you want to do it, let your mind think on it for a day, come back to it, think on it some more, and eventually it kind of shakes itself out. Feel free to let others in the room read it, proofread it. Know how to find spell check and Word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that's all I had for this morning, is to get this going so you can go back into it. If you need any examples, you've got the handout and your text on GDT feature control box and where the components go. As far as scheduling, tomorrow you're going to get a GDT drawing and questions for review for chapter 19, so you're probably not going to have a ton of time. I really won't lecture much other than just hand that stuff out and explain it like I'm doing this morning. So you'll probably maybe get an hour on your egg project tomorrow. The rest of it will probably be working on that stuff. Then hopefully you can finish all that. Wednesday, you're going to be able to work on your egg project all day except for a lecture. Thursday, I'm going to give you a fastener drawing. Okay, that's going to then deviate back into your time. So Thursday, figure you got about half the day that you can work on your egg project. Then Friday, we're dropping. Okay? Ask questions as you come through the day. Start putting your details together first. That generally works the best, and move to your assemblies. If you got any questions on them, give me a holler and let's come with we'll develop a little plan on how to move forward and how you want to work it.
I have
Yes.
a question on assembly, so, I have a way, I want to put the egg in this, I have on my way to do it. Does it matter if it goes from left to right or right, I mean, is there a direction that has to flow? Like
No.
in an assembly?
No, not really.
You can say you start from here or start from, it doesn't matter which way you start. I mean, I'm assuming as long as you label it the right way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Long as you- Oh, one thing I did want to clarify. Lisa asked the other day, how do I draw this egg because I got to make the egg? No, you don't. I made the comment that you don't have any standard parts, you're making everything. Well, that's not really true. You're not making the egg. Consider the egg a standard part because I'm going to provide them. I'm your vendor. Now, with that said, if you are not, if it's a standard part, where do you show the egg?
Material.
Build.
Where does the egg get shown? Because it's part of the machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an assembly.
It's in the assembly drawing, but it's a standard part.
So
You
you
do
detail.
not need detail drawings of it. Okay, so it's in your assembly, it's called out, chicken egg, large grade A.
So you don't do a detail saying, this is a standard part? You
This
don't
is an
include
egg.
that?
Nope, no detail for the egg.
So you just call out.
You just need it for
standard
your-
part in your assembly.
That is correct.
So it'll be a note in your assembly then?
It will be in your parts list. And you'll have a little bubble come on off of it.
That's just what Gotcha.
Okay? Are there any other questions right now?
How do you do so like if we're using bubble wrap,
Mm-hmm.
can we just use a hatch or do we have to actually draw it?
You gotta measure it.
You gotta measure it and draw it.
There's this bubble wrap, that bubble wrap, this bubble wrap.
Yeah.
So it depends on if you're doing an exploded assembly, what type of assembly drawing are you doing?
I'm doing a SolidWorks exploded assembly.
Okay, well, you need to draw the part first,
Mm-hmm.
and then with SolidWorks, you can just have it display it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, you might have to get some calipers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you if I could borrow.
There's
them.
one of those packets that had bubble wrap in it.
Yeah, she just did she just did the thickness of this and then just did a hatch.
No, there was bubble,
No.
bubble, bubble, bubble,
No,
bubble,
there was
bubble.
bubbles that were
I think it's in
dimensioned
this
for the
one I'm
height
looking
and.
at. I'm not using bubble wrap.
Back up, I think you just passed it. Yeah, there it is.
Draw your bubbles.
Okay.
All right, well, the rest of the day's yours then.
Sweet. Thank you.
Take a picture.